With many countries in partial or complete lockdown, the global economy is in a state of paralysis, and that economists and politicians agree can't continue indefinitely. Some governments are turning to smartphone tracking and widespread testing. The aim is to allow industries to get going again while keeping a close watch on any new infections. But this strategy has brought up the question of privacy. In China, locals have to scan QR codes before boarding buses and trains or entering airports, offices, and even their own housing complexes.
I have been to the hospital this morning and I showed them the QR code. I showed it when I went to the office. I actually don't really know how the QR code is operated, but once you have shown them, they won't worry.
Code allows authorities to keep track of people's health status and their movements. Israel has approved the electronic tracking of patients. Before the pandemic, the technology had only been for counter-terrorism.
There is some breach of privacy here. We need to strike a balance between the right to privacy, which in normal times is a sacred right, and life. In normal times as well as in times of emergency, civil rights are sacred, but we will sacrifice a certain level of civil rights to save lives and prevent a mass disaster.
In Kashmir, reports suggest the Indian government is using counter-insurgency tactics to track potential patients. Even the European Commission has recommended using mobile technologies and data to better tackle the pandemic. But some privacy advocates are worried about how these mass surveillance tools will be used in the post-pandemic world.
We've seen the use of big data to do predictive policing and detain people really for no reason. So there's a concern that although this data is being perhaps collected for a legitimate purpose, that it could potentially eventually be misused in ways that we can't predict right now.
Amnesty International and more than 100 other organizations have called for limits on how governments use data to fight the coronavirus. One thing everyone agrees on, though, is this: an app can't replace social distancing measures.